Well, hi guys, welcome to another edition of Eek Acres. In my videos, you're going to see me doing a lot of back and forth between the barn and the house, because basically that's what we're focusing on right now, because there's really not anything else I can do out in the woods with the yard, the property. We got lake effect snow coming all of next week, so the plowing is going to begin. So everything that has to do with the nature around this property is going to wait until spring of next year. But what I am doing is I'm getting this pile even bigger, because we're going to have a roll-off dumpster, a big one, like a 30-yard dumpster, to haul this stuff away. This whole wall, this whole thing, all the way down, is coming out. This is not a load-bearing wall, but these are at least 12 to 14 foot 2x4s. And it's an entire stud wall that's just nailed at the top to that stringer up there, that joist stringer. And so all these 2x4s I'm going to be able to salvage. And I've already been removing some of the OSB board, because this good OSB board is what I decked the dryer and washer platform with. Because when I went to Home Depot last night to buy 3/4 inch plywood, I needed 1 foot ripped off of it, so it would go from 8 foot down to 7 foot. But they cut through the cord with the saw at Home Depot, and they said they couldn't cut any wood for me. And it won't fit in my van if it's 8 feet long, because I got the header in there. And I was thinking, wait a minute, you cut through the cord on the saw that runs down to rip through the plywood, and you didn't fix it? I mean, it's Home Depot. That you go to the electrical department, get that same gauge cord, put a new end on it, wire it into the junction box on the saw, and it's fixed. They said they couldn't do anything about it. Home Depot's got everything you need to fix stuff. So anyway, I'm actually glad that was a blessing that happened, because now that I see how easy this OSB board comes off, I just put that on the platform. It's rock solid. It's all tacked down and works fine, and it just saved me $80 for 2 sheets of 3/4 4x8. So I'm going to be taking off the rest of these. All these shelves here, as you can see, lift off. So I'm going to take off all these braces that are holding these big ones together, and then I'm going to just walk them right down to the ground, and then I'm going to lay them down and lean them against the back wall of the barn and get them all together and categorized. So that way, when someone comes to buy this thing, it's already ready to load, because this whole wall is coming out, and I'm going to show you why. It's that wall and these N2x4s. But if you look, follow the metal of the back wall, the barn will then end at that wall right there. So we'll clear out all this space right here to put in more boats, so Bridget can make more of a passive income on this building. The whole thing moves. See that? So it's just sitting here. So all these big shelves I'm going to dismantle, and these ones I didn't notice until just yesterday are sitting on brand new cinder blocks. So I just slide that one off, stack the cinder blocks, slide this one off, stack the cinder blocks, get this all out of the way, because there's the back side of that 2x4, that huge 2x4 framed wall, and I'm going to rip all that insulation down, and then all these 2x4s are coming out to open up this barn so it continues all the way over to this wall here, which is a load-bearing wall, so that wall's staying. And then with all this insulation ripped down and everything, it's all going to go in a giant pile, and it's all going to go into the dumpster. All these studs behind this wood is like brand new. Look at these studs. A lot of beautiful wood in here, you guys. There is literally several $1,000s in wood. Look at all this OSB sheets that are on this sliding door. Now, this door used to be up on that track, and they did away with it because they put in the garage door. It used to go all the way across. The slider door that is needed to close off this section is here behind it. So this one we don't need. And it's got all OSB sheets on the back side. So when these windows are out of here and all this junk is out of here, I'm going to just slide this right down flat and let it fall on the floor so I can get all these sheets ripped off. Over here, if you remember how dark this corner was, they foamed over the windows that are like those over there. They're not actually clear windows. They're just plastic panels that let in natural light. Well, on this side, they foamed over them. So I put up my ladder, and I've been going over here and ripping all the foam off of it, and there's more of them to do. There's another one over there, another one over there. There's one right there. You can see them kind of glowing. You can see the light. And so I'm ripping all the foam off. And this stuff comes off super easy. I just go behind it with a pry bar, and I just pry it all off, going behind it and just breaking it all off. So that way I got to get all these windows, get the foam off of them, and let the light come in again. And they continue all the way over to here. Look at this lumber, you guys. This is all rough cut hemlock. Look at these beautiful boards. This whole entire shelving unit is coming down. Look at them. Look how thick. There is a lot of lumber here, you guys. A lot of good usable lumber. So all this is going to be coming down away from this wall. This wall is staying, but this shelving unit is coming down. All this wood in this corner is coming down and just opening it up so it's just a regular corner. But look, all this stuff is loose. See there? It's already loose. See what I mean? Look at that. And that's, so all this lumber I'm going to stack up for Bridget, because this is all stuff that can be used for her greenhouse. This one's got a little bit of foam on it. I'll clean that up. Those ones are nailed. I'll get them off. But all this stuff, I can pry it all apart. I mean, look at, there's several of them here, all sistered together, and I'll get these all pried apart. But this is all milled, rough lumber hemlock. So get all this wood cleared out of here, and it's going to be a pile. Because this thing is coming down, this paint booth. We're opening up this building to make room for RV and boat storage. It's going to make her a lot of money every winter, every fall when they come to store boats and RVs. And none of this is attached to the roof. If you see there, it doesn't even go to the metal. This is just a freestanding structure here. And look at all these big beams. All this is coming down. And the whole thing is all boxed in with OSB. So all these boards are going to come down. The top boards, all this framing. This has got leg bolts in it on this plate right here. I got to take all those out. But just look at the lumber. I mean, you imagine if you went to Home Depot and you bought a bunch of lumber in this size, length, the thickness, all of it. It would be a hell of a lot of money. Same thing with here. This shelving unit. It's got OSB on it. There's 2x4s. There's more hemlock. Going to get a lot of lumber out of all this. And like I said, you guys, everything is here to build the cabin, to build her greenhouse, to build anything she wants. I got to get these shelves cleared off so I can get all this wood taken apart and stack it up nice and flat. Look at all this hemlock here, these shelves. I got to get all these taken apart. It goes all the way down to the floor. All of this here. I mean, just tons and tons of wood, you guys, to use. So I'm going to continue dismantling this, getting this hemlock pried off of these boards, and getting these all apart. This loft ladder that I built, you guys, has been coming in handy to get me up to where I need to be to rip this OSB off. Comes off super easy because they only used short 3-inch nails. So with the pry bar behind it and the claw of the hammer and everything, and just prying against the 2x4s, it's just popping these boards right off. Then once all this insulation is out from between all these 2x4s up in here and get all that cleaned out of there, then I can start dismantling the 2x4s by tripping them at the bottom and pulling them off from the top, and get this wall taken down, as well as the shelving units on the other side. What I'm going to do next is a little bit dangerous, but I got to trip up one of these end shelving units, and it's going to be extremely loud when this thing hits the floor. But they're too heavy to walk down by hand, and I need them down so I can lay them against the wall there on the backs. It's going to be loud. Are you ready?
Oh, no. Let me give it back up. Can you do that again?
I got a tie on each one. There's 2 more left. I got a tie on the other one. And this is so I can lean them sideways up against the wall. It's the only way to get them down. They're too big to handle by yourself. Because I got to take that whole wall down. So what's going to be the dangerous part is taking down the one that's standing.
Oh, I see. You're just pulling it from the bottom.
Yep, I'm tripping them.
All right, hold on. One more to go.
Wow, the dust that kicks up. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only way to do it. Now I can get to those 2 boards, and then once that's moved out of the way, I can dismantle that whole wall. So I just took this OSB board off, and I just got that one right there. And I'm ripping all the insulation down, and now you can see through to the other side. See there? You can see the shelving units now, all the way to the other side of the pole barn. So I got all this to rip out. And then in order to get these shelving units down, these unlatch and go out away from the back side, like the front ones unlatch and unhook from the front. And there's no room. There's no room to unhook the back ones. So that means that the shelves on the other side have to come away from the wall. Then this whole wall has to come down in order to get those braces off the back of these gigantic stands. And then I can trip those 3 like I did those 3. So it's going to be a job, but this is what's making the pole barn smell bad, you guys, is all this insulation. It all just needs to go into a dumpster and everything, and I'm getting this place all swept out and cleaned up. So I'll save this board because I can rip the foot off the 1 foot off the bottom of this board, and because this is dry, that's wet. So I'll just rip it with a skill saw and I'll save this sheet. I'm going to stack them all flat over there with all the other good wood. And same thing with all these boards. I'm going to save everything, the 2x4s, but all this insulation has to go and everything. And this will give her a lot more room for a lot more boats and RVs in here, because this wall, let me show you, it's not even attached, you guys. Watch. The whole thing is loose. They didn't even build it right. It's all just slapped together, but those 2x4s are, my God, I'd say probably 15 footers, 15-foot 2x4s right there. So that's a lot of wood right there. With all the 2x4s that we'll be removing out of this pole barn, that's enough to build the framing walls to the cabin. So, because we really don't need them for anything else. There's more than enough wood to do the cabin and the greenhouse, just with plywood, 2x4s, 4x4 pressure treated posts, everything. So that's a lot of material to remove before I can get that shelving unit down. But then once this wall is opened up and moved out and swept up, this place is really going to look huge, because we're going to gain probably a good 30 feet on the other side of this wall. I got to go see my hip surgeon, because he also does knees, and have him image my knee, because I'm afraid that's going to be the next surgery. I really need surgery on my hands. So I come over, I do a little bit of work at a time until I can't stand it anymore. And then I go home, I take a shower, jump into some sweatpants, have a cup of coffee, and just kick back and relax, because my body hurts so bad, you guys. Since taking on this place, man, my body has never hurt worse than it does now. But it's going to be worth it in the end, because when Bridget and I are done and I have the fire pit all constructed and everything, and we can go out on a nice warm summer night underneath the stars here at Eek Acres and sit around the fire and reminisce about all the work that we put into this place and what it took from the time that the sale closed until we got it finished and rehabbed and cleaned up, and just all the work that you guys have seen. It's really going to be quite a thing to reminisce about. And but I'll tell you what, if I was a year older than I am now, I don't think I'd be able to do it, you guys. At 52 years old, I'm at my limit right now because of my health. But it's getting there, but a little bit at a time. You know, I can't do this all day long. I can only put in a couple hours and then I got to go home. It's just the way it is, but I'm trying to get as much done as humanly possible. So anyway, thanks for coming along on this journey of Eek Acres. There'll be more videos coming, you guys. I still got a colossal amount of work to still do. But I'm getting it there, and I'm going to get it there quicker than most of you think. And you'll see, when this wall's gone, what a difference that's going to make for opening up this giant room. We're going to just have this barn as a shell. And but all the interior stuff and the shelves and all that, it's not needed. We don't have the stuff to store. It's way more space than we need, you guys, for storage. So the lumber is going to be utilized more and will be worth more to us than the shelves and the space of storing things. So, you know, anyway, so that's it for this edition, you guys. We'll see you again in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll be back with more on Eek Acres. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, guys, some bonus footage. I'm done for the evening. Let me show you what I've done. I got that whole wall, that whole section exposed, and I already took out 3 studs. There was 2 in the corner and 1 there. And this whole wall is very flimsy, so it's easy to just lift up the 2x4s to get them off the nails because they're spiked from underneath. I get them off the nails and then I just pull them and they just come away from that top 2x4 that caps them off. But look how nice these studs are, you guys. Look how nice they are. See, that's going to give me more than enough wood. These studs are really, really long. And there is a whole bunch of them that go down, as well as the top cap and then that other wall that's over there. But now you can see right through to the other room, and all these shelving units have to go. So now you can actually start to see the windows through to the other side, you know, to really open this building up. Because having that wall right there, you guys, really takes up a lot of room. Because this building is 96 feet long by 63 feet wide. So we want to have as much open floor space as possible for RVs and boats in here. So I got this corner cleaned out, got all that junk out of there. I've been sweeping and getting stuff organized. I got the flag to the flagpole hanging up so that can air out. And we'll have that flying again, Old Glory right there. So eventually this place is going to be all emptied out, cleaned up, and all this junk hauled away. And it's going to be a massive pile when we're done, you guys. But the main thing is getting that whole section there out and just opening this up. See there? That's going to be super nice. That's it for the footage, the extra footage, you guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.